What is up, guys? James Carter TV here to recap day 2 of the 2016 NFL Draft and give you my draft grades that can be found in the description box below. Now, let me tell you, right now you're going to go, probably you've already done this, you've gone and you looked at other people's grading, Pete Prisco over at CBS.com, and you're going to see that I'm a lot nicer than Pete Prisco, a lot of other graders, when it comes to this round 2 and 3, mainly because when you're talking about round 2 and 3, honestly, they're kind of overrated. Round 2 actually is not. Round 2 is pretty big deal, but round 3 is pretty overrated, I think. Honestly, I think I read a statistic, only 46% of third-round picks remain with their teams throughout their 4-year deal. That's not very high. So with that in mind, in the third round and pretty much beyond, all I'm looking for is this a player worth pretty much value within a round, and does he fill a need for your football team? And that's pretty much it. Now, if someone really slides down that I think is a first or second round talent and you take him, then you're going to get big props for that. But I'm not really going to trash anybody here because I don't put as much stock into the third round as a lot of people do. Second round, I do. But I think, honestly, the teams in the second round did a pretty good job taking some calculated risks, being in the second round and all of that. But I do have my grievances. And again, my grades can be found in the description box below. Now, yesterday, in my round 1 recap, I was able to go pick by pick, team by team, giving you a short synopsis of what I thought about that pick. No way in hell I'm doing that today. I would just give you the highlights, all right? So let's talk about the Cowboys taking Jaylon Smith out of Notre Dame. When you're talking about nerves and nerve issues and blah, 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 I get scared. But they're talking about him resting this year, potentially coming back in 2017 and reevaluating things from there. And if he can play for the Cowboys, I think you're talking about a player here that can be a huge player for their linebacking core for years to come. But man, this guy has a nerve issue, and I wouldn't have taken him this high. That's why I'm a little bit harsh on the Cowboys. I only give them a C+. Nice effort, but man, it's going to be tough if this guy cannot stay healthy. Next highlight, the Jaguars take Myles Jack. Damn the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to be considering this over the next however many weeks, how many wins I'm going to allot to the Jacksonville Jaguars, because right now, as of this moment, I'm considering anywhere from 8 to 11 wins that I'm going to predict the Jacksonville Jaguars to win in 2016, and it could even rise, because right now, if you look at their roster, if you look at how many pieces have been added defensively, when you look at how many pieces have been added offensively, I mean, just this offseason alone, let's talk about it. Jalen Ramsey, Myles Jack, Kelvin Beachum, Tashawn Gibson, Prince Amukamara, Dante Fowler's going to be coming back from injury. You also added Malik Jackson in free agency. Chris Ivory in free agency. I think I already said Prince Amukamara. If I haven't, Prince Amukamara. I mean, so many players. They drafted Yannick Ngakoue, or however you pronounce it, out of Maryland. So many players added to their football team, specifically their defense. They're stacked on paper. Can Gus Bradley lead them to the promised land? Who knows, man? I don't trust him. I know Jags fans don't trust him. We'll see. But on paper, man, the Jags are stacked, and they're scaring the hell out of me. And Myles Jack, you can talk about this, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. When it comes to his injuries, he is ready to play in 2016. And whatever happens down the road, we will evaluate when we get there. But man, this guy is going to make an impact. And I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, and my goodness, I'm going to hate seeing how the Jacksonville Jaguars have rebuilt their roster so much faster than the Tennessee Titans have. I'm going to cry when Jalen Ramsey picks off Marcus Mariota, because I know it's going to happen. Now, with that in mind, let's move on to the other noteworthy stuff. New York Giants take Sterling Shepard. I like this pick. Only reason I don't have it higher in that A range is because, personally, I don't think Sterling Shepard is this good, but Victor Cruz has some injury issues there. You need a number 2 wide receiver potentially. I do like the Sterling Shepard pick, though. Reggie Ragland falls all the way down to 41. Buffalo Bills take him here. Has some questions about the aorta, whatever thing. So that's why I also do not have him in the A range. But again, it's a good pick here. A B plus, people, is a good pick. A B is an average pick. An A, obviously A minus, A plus, those are great picks. A plus is fantastic. C's, that's when we get in trouble. See, I'm viewing it from basically the way I view grades in my college, and that is pretty much the average GPA is about a 3.35, right? So that's pretty much the average I'm trying to allocate here. That's just my reference frame right now, so just go with me. All right, so we had some A's in the second round. And the A's were, first of all, I already talked about Myles Jack. Hunter Henry got an A minus to San Diego Chargers taking Hunter Henry. I really like this pick. I like that the Chargers are building around Phillip Rivers. I think they're going to have an explosive offense in 2016. The question is, how much will the defense suck? Because it's probably going to suck. You do have Jason Verrett. You do have Casey Hayward. Hopefully those two can limit the amount of points the defense scores, because besides that, and you drafted Joey Bosa, and Melvin Ingram's nice. But the defensive line still is pretty bad. Corey Legit, Kendall Reyes, these guys stink. You didn't draft a defensive lineman, you're in trouble. So hopefully they're not going to be able to stop the run. Hopefully the offense is able to score enough points and the Chargers can get back into the playoff race. Other A's, New Orleans Saints take Michael Thomas out of Ohio State. Drew Brees will turn this man into a 1,000-yard receiver. Great pick for the New Orleans Saints. Green Bay Packers all the way down at 48 get offensive tackle Jason Spriggs. Great pick for them. You can move David Bakhtiari into left guard, put Jason Spriggs at left tackle. You have Jerron Reed that went all the way down to 49. Seattle Seahawks pick him up. I think that'll be an A for them. Great player for the Seattle Seahawks, who had a hell of a draft. The Seahawks keep building and building and building and building. And man, the NFL is just going to sit back and watch as the Seahawks become a dynasty, man. I'm telling you. Next, we have the what the hell pick as the New York Jets, take Christian Hackenberg. I mean, I think Christian Hackenberg is the most overrated prospect in this draft, in any draft ever. I wouldn't draft him. I think he's undraftable. I wouldn't take him with a 7th round pick. I think he's horrible. I mean, he's god awful. I mean, you see how many just absolute horrible, horrid, absolutely ridiculous passes that this guy has. Just floating balls. 20 yards downfield over people's heads. Just floating balls 5 feet above people's heads. I mean, just absolutely floating balls. Inaccurate here, inaccurate there. He can't manipulate the pocket. He can't read progressions. He absolutely regressed. He was a better player his senior year in high school than he is at this moment. And the New York Football Jets take him with the 51st pick, a 2nd round pick. You're getting a D plus, my friends. This is ridiculous. The only reason it's not an F is because, yes, there is a slight chance they're able to fix this guy. But man, does he need fixing. If you can get this guy, you're going to need to transform this guy to his high school form in order to hopefully then bring him back to being an NFL quarterback. That's a hell of a transition to make, and I say good luck with that teaching process, because it's going to be a hell of a one. Chicago Bears move back, and take Cody Whitehair, a player who I mocked them getting at 39 or wherever they're scheduled to pick. It's a great pick for them. He's a great, maybe not great, but a really good offensive lineman that can come in and start on that offensive line, protect Jay Cutler. And as we move on to the 3rd round, which I'm about to do, I love the Chicago Bears drafts. I mean, these past 2 drafts I think have been fantastic. They picked up Kevin White, who unfortunately was not able to play in 2015. He'll be back in 2016. He'll be healthy. He'll be an impact player. You picked up Eddie Goldman out of Florida State last year, who ended up being a starter, who ended up being a really good player. Now you pick up Cody White here. You picked up in the 1st round Leonard Floyd. This defense is really building something. Adrian Amos was a starter for you last year, and you drafted him in the 5th round. A lot of starters on this Chicago Bears defense drafted within the last 2 years, and we will get into your 3rd round pick in a second. Next, Those are all the A's. And also I gave an A- for Tyler Boyd, Cincinnati Bengals. I think Andy Dalton could turn him into a 1,000-yard receiver. So when you look at the redrafts that people do years from now, it would not surprise me to see Tyler Boyd being redrafted higher than Will Fuller, who I don't think is going to have 1,000 yards, higher than Corey Coleman, who I don't think is going to have 1,000 yards. All right, next we have round 3. And this round actually ended up being pretty interesting, almost as interesting as round 2, despite the fact I don't put too much stock into round 3. Let's start with the headlines, the quarterbacks. And a couple of them went, but not any that anyone was expecting, although I did have Jacoby Brissett going in the 3rd round. I mocked him today in my redraft, my mock that I uploaded today around 2 p.m., I had the San Francisco 49ers taking Jacoby Brissett with the 68th pick. It is not the 49ers that take him, though. It is the New England Patriots. They take Jacoby Brissett out of North Carolina State. I'm a little surprised, but at the same time, I'm not. The New England Patriots over the last, how many years now? It's been at least 6 years. Last 6 years. They love taking quarterbacks. This is the 3rd one they've taken. They took Ryan Mallett in 2011. They took Jimmy Garoppolo in 2014, and now they took Jacoby Brissett, and they've taken even more in the 2000s. They love to keep taking quarterbacks every 2 to 3 years. They've done it here. I like Jacoby Brissett. I think he could be a starter for them, and they're going to lose probably Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency after 2017 because he still has 1 more year left on his contract. So they're already planning for that, getting ready for that. I probably wouldn't have taken them, though, and that's why I docked them a little bit here, because honestly, it wasn't a need yet. You should have waited to draft a quarterback until next year, but I like the player, so I give them still a good grade for this pick regardless. The Cleveland Browns, they finally take their quarterback all the way down the 3rd round, and his name is Cody Kessler out of USC. I don't know what the Cleveland Browns are smoking. Cody Kessler to me is a 5th round pick. I think he's a career backup. I don't think there's any chance in hell he challenges RG3 for anything in this lifetime or the next. I mean, except for maybe who's the biggest loser on the planet. Because I don't see anything from Cody Kessler that suggests that he's going to come in, he's going to be better than Connor Shaw was for you. This pick doesn't make any sense to me. Connor Cook would have been the better pick here, and I hate Connor Cook. I think Connor Cook is inaccurate. I think he's a 4th-round pick, and now he's going to be a 4th-round pick. But, man, Cody Kessler inspires no confidence. He is a career backup, while at least you can sell me on the idea that Connor Cook could be potentially a starting quarterback. You can't buy me on that for Cody Kessler. If Cody Kessler is your starting quarterback, your starting quarterback sucks, my friend. All right, next. Those were pretty much the big ones. Oh, let me talk about what the hell. 2 picks that I'm just like, what are you guys doing? First, let's start with the Houston Texans to take Braxton Miller. Now, I think Braxton Miller is of good value here, but what the hell are you doing? You have DeAndre Hopkins. You have who you drafted last year. What's his name again? Jaylon Strong. And in this very draft, you drafted wide receiver Will Fuller. These are 3 young wide receivers that you have, and now you take Braxton Miller out of Ohio State, who has a very similar play style to Will Fuller. Braxton Miller is not going to see the field. First of all, the Texans are going to run the football. Brock Osweiler, while he's an okay running back, is not a prolific passer. He's not Drew Brees. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers that needs a good 4th wide receiver. He doesn't need that. I don't know why they took Braxton Miller here. It is a D. It is a D. It is a D. I don't know how he's going to see the field. Even when he sees the field, I don't know what impact he's going to make in this offense. I don't get it. I don't like it. Next. I did not like the, what pick is that? I did not like the Brandon Williams pick by the Arizona Cardinals. Who is this guy? I had him slotted as a 6th-round pick. Cardinals take him in the 3rd round. I don't know who this is. I don't like it. And this is a D+ for them because I don't know who this is. Yes, you have a need a cornerback, but who is this guy? All right, next let's talk about the A's in the 3rd round. First, Carl Nassib gets an A-. The Cleveland Browns get an A- for drafting Carl Nassib. Like him as a pass rusher. They needed a pass rusher. You pair him with Paul Kruger, who isn't very good. But now you have an okay pass rush. Like maybe now you'll be 20th in sacks in the NFL as opposed to 31st. All right, Max Turk goes to the San Diego Chargers. They've had a need at center since Nick Hardwick left the door. He's going to be a long-term starter for them at the center position. Love this pick for the San Diego Chargers. New York Giants draft Darian Thompson, Boise State. Good. Landon Collins is not a free safety for you. Put him at strong safety. Now you have Darian Thompson to be your free safety, to be your single high safety. And the Giants are building a really good defense that will be formidable in 2016. You move on to any other A's that I have in this round. Oh, I had 4 straight consecutive A's on that A level. A-, Atlanta Falcons for drafting Austin Hooper. I think he'll be a really good receiving tight end for them. He's also okay blocking tight end. I'm not in love with Austin Hooper as a second rounder, which was, a potential fit for him, but he goes all the way down in the third round. I like that a lot more. And obviously you pair him with Matt Ryan, who has needed a tight end for quite a while. Who was that tight end that he kept throwing to? Levine Toilolo, who they kept throwing to me. Come on, get him a tight end. They got one here in Austin Hooper. To that I say good. All right, next we have LaRaven Clark. Again, the Colts protecting Andrew Luck. And you have to. It's time to wake up because the Texans are competing well in the AFC South. The Jaguars are competing well in the AFC South. And the Titans aren't doing anything. So you don't have to worry about them. But the Texans and the Jags, they're doing something. So with that in mind, let's protect Andrew Luck because, man, the Texans and the Jaguars are coming after our quarterback. We're going to protect him. We're going to take LaRaven Clark out of Texas Tech, who can be a right tackle for us in the future, or maybe even bump him inside the guard like that pick. New York Jets, outside linebacker Jordan Jenkins out of Georgia. I like this pick a lot for them. Strong side, outside linebacker, strong against the run, can help them out against the run, and also rush the passer a little bit. Next, we have Washington Redskins, Kendall Fuller out of Virginia Tech. And I like this as an insurance policy. We want to believe that Josh Norman is going to come in, he's going to be great, and everything is going to be great. But in case he doesn't, we have Kendall Fuller just in case, right? Just in case Josh Norman ends up being a free agent bust, Kendall Fuller is waiting in the background, ready to take over, and he can also compete with Rashad Breeland or just be a slot corner. Anyway, either way, a great pick for the Washington Redskins. Green Bay Packers take outside linebacker Kyler Fackrell out of Utah State. Absolutely love it. He's a nice pass rusher, a nice Leo-type, leopard-type linebacker in this defense that can help Clay Matthews move around and be a movable piece. They need more pass rushers. Julius Peppers is probably going to retire at the end of this season, I am projecting. So you have an heir apparent in Kyler Fackrell. Next, you have CJ Prosise going to the Seattle Seahawks. Love this pick again. Although I really liked, what's his name? The running back, undrafted running back that started last year. I can't remember his name right now. But the guy blew up, right? Had over 200-something yards in one game. Really nice production. Got injured. Wasn't able to start. I'm so sorry. I can't remember his name right now. So many names I've had to talk about over the last 24 hours. Excuse me for that. And I'm going on 4.5 hours sleep here. So with that in mind, though, insurance policy and help him move along because, again, he's an undrafted guy, right? So you can pair him with CJ Prosise, who I like a lot as a prospect. In fact, I may like him more than Derrick Henry, who went in the second round. But anyway, you pair him with CJ Prosise, can be a nice, fast running back for you and help be a game changer for your offense. I really like this pick for the Seattle Seahawks. And I think those were all of my A's. No, I had 2 more A's. Again, it's the Seattle Seahawks who take Nick Vannett out of Ohio State, receiving tight end that they need. Usually they like to throw to Zach Miller, who's been a tight end for them, but you can upgrade. They upgrade here. Nick Vannett, get younger at that position. I say good. Next, you draft, or my next A was the Denver Broncos, who drafted Justin Simmons out of Boston College. I think this is going to be a free safety for them. They have a need, or maybe even a strong safety for them. But either way, you have a need of safety a little bit, not much. I mean, your defense is great. But you do have Darian Stewart, who you wonder, is he going to be a long-term starter? Probably not. And anyway, Who's the guy that plays strong safety again? Ward, TJ Ward, who likes to be a dime linebacker a little bit. So when TJ Ward moves inside to dime linebacker, you're able to put Justin Simmons out there as strong safety and let him be on the field in dime packages, nickel packages, or what have you. So, like this pick a lot for the Denver Broncos. So anyway, all the picks, all of the grades can be found in the description box below. Now, starting tomorrow night, I am going to start my draft recap videos for each and every team in the NFL, talking about their draft picks, giving you my grades, giving you my overall grades for that team, my thoughts on their draft picks, blah, 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 starting tomorrow night. If you haven't subscribed already, you better do so now, because starting tomorrow night, we're going to start with the Tennessee Titans. Then we're going to move on to the Cleveland Browns, 2 per day for the next 16 days. It's going to be a lot of fun here on James Carter TV, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm going to finally get some sleep, and I'm out. Peace.